changed enough in 50 years. The data is almost identical. So how do we lead in our time of challenge and controversy? Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave more than 2,500 speeches and wrote 5 books during the Civil Rights Movement. One source said he gave approximately 450 speeches a year. 450. I didn't even sleep well last night just for this one. Imagine 450, right? That's more than the number of days a year. During his leadership in the 1960s, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed that banned discrimination in employment and public accommodations based on race, color, religion, or national origin. The Voting Act of 1965 was passed that restored and protected the right to vote. The Immigration and Nationality Services Act of 1965 was passed that allows immigration from groups other than those from traditional European countries. And the Fair Housing Act of 1968 was passed that banned housing discrimination in both sales and rentals. 2,500 speeches. Whatever affects one directly affects all of us indirectly. And while we're talking about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, the Civil Rights Movement included many leaders and activists, many from all races, and some lost their lives as a result of the fight for equality. Transactional leaders are responsive to the present issue. These leaders work to ensure that goals and objectives are met. An example of a transactional leader could be a case manager who works with low-income people to find a job or access services, right? Transformational leaders are proactive and form new expectations. These leaders disrupt the status quo and introduce new ideas. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is an example of a transformational leader. However, shared leadership includes both transactional and transformational leaders. Power, decision-making, and influence is a shared responsibility. Everyone leads each other toward achieving one common goal. And that was the Civil Rights Movement. And that movement transformed lives. Shared leadership requires a shared vision where all people have the agency, power, access, and ability to shape the policies and practices that affect their lives. Again, whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. In our time of challenge and controversy, we need leaders at all levels, and we need shared leadership. Here's a headline from the Battle Creek Inquirer on November 9th, 2017. 9 out of 10 Battle Creek voters stayed home on Tuesday. 9 out of 10 stayed home. Right? Yeah. 9 out of 10. How do we get better at this as a community? Right? Because while we have many leaders in this community, we also have many people who might not be plugged into a shared vision. And a shared vision with shared leadership and action, that transforms lives. Not a lot has changed for African Americans and the disparities that exist in the last 50 years. And again, while our country and our community has come a long way, Dr. King's dream has yet to be fully realized. Sometimes history shows us how magnificent we are, and sometimes it's a glimpse back at the places we never want to be again. What would happen if we made reducing racial disparities our only goal in Battle Creek? Think about that. I already shared that Michigan could see a 36 $36 billion increase in economic output, just for reducing disparities across the state. What would Battle Creek's economic output look like? How would people's lives be different in 5 years if we just focused on reducing racial disparities? We have a lot of great things happening in Battle Creek, but as one of my friends says, what has gotten us to where we are won't get us to where we need to go. We've got to do this differently. And I'm asking for your help. We're all asking for your help to do this differently. It will take all of us to exercise shared leadership to get to a shared vision. If one of us isn't doing well in Battle Creek, it's my responsibility, and that's our responsibility.